Pokemon meme review.
Leave your entries in the subreddit PokeFans. And now watch submissions in the next episode. ASPITPIAY.
Greetings, Pokefans! Michael here, and welcome to the first Generation 9 episode of ASPITPIAY. At some point in the past, I asked you, my ongoing series where I react to submissions on my subreddit, r/MandJTV, and since most of those submissions are memes, the alternate name for this series is Pokemon Meme Review. Quick shout out, I've got some fun merch over at MandJTVmerch.com. The base form Mighty plush is there, as is some Team Sky shirts. Both this red one and the white one is back. The hoodies have already sold out. Sorry. But that also means if you want to get these other things, they're gonna sell out eventually too. We're selling them till they sell out. So if you want them, MandJTVmerch.com when you get a chance. All right, top posts of the past month on r/MandJTV. I'm recording this on November 30th. Any Scarlet and Violet spoilers? There might be some. Just so you know, I solved it. Get Griever to Togepi for a symbiotic relationship. Griever's a happy lad, but sucks the life force from those around it. Togepi uses positive emotions of friends as its energy. They can create an infinite loop, and Griever doesn't have to lose any more friends. Aw. That's cute. Game Freak being lazy again. They are just reusing existing models for completely different characters. Oh, that's good. Hello, Director Clavel from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Hello, Professor Kukui from Pokemon Sun and... Yeah, I was thinking about that. Oh, it's just like the Masked Royale, and it's like, hi, I'm the Masked Royale. Professor Kukui, the Masked Royale. And then Clive does the exact same thing. Oh. A lengthy debate about the Dunsparce. The Dunsparce is a waste of potential. Dunsparce should have become a cool dragon. Your disappointment is your fault for setting extremely specific expectations for what Dunsparce should have evolved into. Becoming longer is the funniest outcome of waiting 2 decades for an evolution. The Dunsparce is already an adorable Pokemon and doesn't need to fundamentally change. If you really dislike this design concept, Dunsparce finally has stats to back up its amazing move pool. Not every Pokemon has to have a Gyarados style glow up when it evolves. There are already 4 cases of that exact concept. Dunsparce isn't even based off a dragon, so why should it evolve into one? I mean, I see your point here. I'm disappointed not because like it doesn't turn into a dragon. I never specifically wanted a dragon. I wanted it to not just be a Dunsparce with one more body segment. You know, I don't like it because it's not a significant change. You know, it's kind of like the reason I'm not a big fan of Pawmi, Pawmo, Pawmot. Like Pawmi to Pawmo is just Pawmi standing up and like changing shades a little bit. Like it's like that, it's not a significant change. It doesn't have to be a Magikarp to Gyarados drastic change, but for me, it's just like, it's just Dunsparce with one more segment. Like I said, they didn't have to make it one of the cool Dunsparce dragon evolutions people have made over the years, but like one segment or 2 more segments. And like even evolutions like Tangela to Tangrowth. Yeah, Tangrowth is just more Tangela, but you're not gonna mix them up, you know? Dark should be super effective against grass because plants need light to grow. I'm gonna say no to that because grass already has enough weaknesses. But you know what's a type chart change I think should happen based on logic, not based on like game balance, is electric should be super effective against steel. Because my understanding of the justification for electric being super effective against water is that water conducts electricity. Water itself, like pure water, doesn't really conduct electricity that well. It's the minerals in the water. So if we're talking about, oh, it's super effective because water conducts electricity, you know what's a way better conductor of electricity? Freaking metal. Side note, it should be called the metal type. Just thought I would add that. Just like the grass type should be called the plant type. Aha! It is I, Grunty Boy, and I have a proposition for you. I'll stop you right there. I'm not investing in your startup. How did you know it? You know what? Whatever, we'll get to that. But first, this video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. It's an insanely fun free-to-play RPG on mobile and PC, where you can battle using over 600 epic champions to fight for the fate of the fantasy world Teleria. And what does that have to do with your startup? Well, you see, Raid has something for everyone. Whether you love getting deep into the lore of the world and characters, the thrilling action of battle, mastering your skills and powers, forming friendships and clans with other players, or feeling a sense of pride for achieving a tournament or event victory, you'll find something you love in Raid. And let me guess, your startup also has something for everyone? It does indeed, because everyone needs socks with all olive oil in them. No, they don't. It's extra virgin. That's for sure. Ugh, let me just give you the Raid news. Raid just released a new legendary champion based on MMA legend Ronda Rousey, who you can get for free by logging into Raid 7 times between now and February 20th. You can also use the code RAIDRONDA for some extra goodies to level her up. And if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can get your exclusive rewards now. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on screen to download Raid today. New players will get a starter pack worth almost $30 to kickstart their game, with a free champion Tyrell and this cool in-game loot. You'll find rewards here for 30 days only. Nice work, Grunty Boy, but I'm sorry, I can't invest in socks with olive oil. That sounds gross. Fine. I guess I'll move on to the next idea. Maybe underwear with butter in it? Butt butter? Oh, I have to write this down. Ta-ta! My son's homemade Reggie Gigas costume. Oh, that's cool. I'm a fan. I didn't mean to click on it, but there you go. I'll give you an upvote. I appreciate the work you put into that. Charizard is so overrated. He got Megas a Gigantamax and is in Scarlet and Violet. Gengar. I mean, yes, Gengar has gotten a lot of love and is actually in the base game of Scarlet and Violet, whereas Charizard, there's like some raid events coming up. I've heard it's gonna be stupid strong. It's basically a post-game Pokemon. But Charizard got 2 Megas. Let us not forget that. It didn't get just 1, it got 2. So if you total the forms, Charizard still has more than Gengar. I don't think Charizard is overrated though. It's extremely popular for a reason. Like if you polled like Pokemon fans, like, yeah, Charizard is unlikely to be the favorite, but if you pull everyone who knows what Pokemon is, a lot of people are gonna pick Charizard. I saw a TikTok the other day, they were asking the Detroit Lions players what their favorite Pokemon was. And like almost everyone said Pikachu or Charizard. Almost every single one of them. There were a few exceptions. Like one guy said Piplup, which I respected, not Gen 1. And then they did a separate video for, I believe his name is Jamal Williams. He's like a running back for the Detroit Lions. And he's like known for like being a big anime fan. And he's clearly not as big of a Pokemon fan, but he was talking about, he was like, yeah, I love the legendary birds like Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres. I also like, what are their names? Groudon and Kyogre, those were cool. And I'm like, he knows beyond Gen 1. We respect this man. Pokemon is a kid's game, they said. Looks closely at Tinkaton's hammer. Corviknight can't serve as a taxi service in Paldea because the Pokemon's natural predators will attack it when it flies, endangering the customer. Yeah, it aims for flying Corviknight. Guess what that hammer's made of? That's messed up. Corviknight's such a cool, awesome bird. Added in Galar, and they're like, you know what? Let's bring it back for Scarlet and Violet, but ruin its life. Mikey, who picked Quaxley. People who have seen the links, people who made accurate predictions. How do we tell him? I picked Quaxley knowing what the final evolutions were like. I think Quaquabble's fine. I talk about this more in my opinion on all the new Pokemon video. I think it's fine. I would have made it more of a Blaziken vibe. I think Skeledirge is the best of the 3, but I really wanted to use Armarouge. So since I liked Quaxley, the base form from the beginning, that's what I went with. What side are you on? Hit points, health points? It's hit points. That's what it's always been. I remember having the card game as a kid and it saying HP stands for hit points because it like originated from like war games and it had to do with like how many hits like a fictional ship could take before being sunk. That's exactly, maybe it was tanks as well. I don't know. It was probably ships, but yeah, it is hit points. I feel like I've seen this before. I kind of dig it. The Stone Age, the Ice Age, the Bronze Age, the Middle Ages, the Modern Ages. Yes, I was aware of this, but maybe some of you watching were not, and now you are. Hey, this is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Man, these graphics and textures look like cheap garbage. Even Majora's Mask had better. Are you sure? Yes, of course. Graphics and textures in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Yeah, I mean, it looks better. Yeah, it depends on where you are in the game. I have found that the game tends to look better in the grassy areas because there's grass coming out of the ground. And so like that adds just a lot more texture to how everything looks. The parts of the game that I don't think looks good are the ones where it's just like the desert. Like it's just like a sand texture bent a little bit and then like smooth rock faces. I think the like cliffs could have used more texturing. And then the snowy mountain I don't think looks good because like mountains are not just a snow texture made pointy in various spots, you know? It's like snow on the top and then like the vertical things should all be like rock faces. But also like the graphics aren't what upset me about this game because we've known what this game has looked like since the trailers came out. We've known it wasn't gonna be a visibly like a gorgeous game. Like that's not shocking. What was shocking and very upsetting is the performance, the bugs, the glitches, the game moving at half the speed it should, and like models going at very bad frame rates. That is the stuff that's like, oh, they should not have released the game in this condition. As of recording this, we still do not have a patch. Hopefully by the time it comes out, we do. My brother, all ice types are bad. Ice types are very good on offense. They're very, very bad on defense. I think Wolfie calls them like they're a glass cannon type, which I think is very accurate. However, with terastallizing, ice types I think will be a lot better because then they can deal with their poor defenses. And also the fact, can we talk about this? We need to talk about this. They got rid of hail. My catchphrase has been hail yeah for years. And now it's just snow. Form, look at this. It says hail yeah on his feet. Never mind the fact that it makes more sense for it to be snow. It's always been represented as snow. I get it, I understand. But they killed hail. This means the only person keeping hail alive is me. Which makes it special. I am the only leader of Team Sky. And now my phrase, hail yeah, is a relic of a bygone era that I am the sole maintainer of. I'm like a monk. This is perfect. Those who know me know hail yeah. Which means if you know hail yeah, you are a member of a special few. Hail may be gone from the games, but it is not gone from my lexicon. And yours as well. I've had a lot of coffee today. And now I've had a little more. You guys always act like you're better than me. Because they are. They are better. All of them. Z-moves suck. Now we have 3 Digletts. I made a new Doug trio. And I cannot unsee the front of Wiglet really looking like Among Us. Yeah, okay, I agree. Yeah, why has Meowth gotten so much? That one I don't understand. I don't understand in general giving regional variants to Pokemon that already got them, you know? Like, why? Like, I think Berserker is cool. Like, if I was picking between the Galarian Meowth line and the Alolan Meowth line, I pick the Galarian line every time. But it's still like, why? You can't like Violet, it sucks. Giga Chad Professor go brrr. Are you guys, are people really getting mad and arguing about which version you picked? Children, I haven't said this in a while. I'm gonna say it again. Why can't you all just behave yourself? Scarlet and Violet have bad graphics, the game's quality sucks, quit having fun. So I feel like it's time I tell my story about this, because I am obviously a huge Pokemon fan, and have been for most of my life. And I had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun with Scarlet and Violet. I've got like over 50 hours logged into the game as of recording this video. Its release quality was unacceptable, straight up. Shouldn't have done it. Not okay, the state that it's in. Like I said earlier in the video, the graphics, we always knew it was gonna look like this, you know? Anybody who's criticizing the graphics is like, I mean, I guess it's fair. Yeah, I think it should look better, but that's not the part that bothers me. Like I said, the performance bothers me, and it's straight up unacceptable. I genuinely went through the 5 stages of grief with the performance of this game. And allow me to walk you through the steps. Stage 1, denial. The reviews came out the day or two before release day, and they were talking about, all of them talking about how the performance was holding back an otherwise fantastic game. And I was like, oh, the performance can't be that bad, right? You know, like they gotta be. They'd have been playing like an earlier build, right? You know, maybe they were playing without the day 1 patch. You know, that's gotta be it, right? And I got the game. And the anger set in. I was like, this is inexcusable. Like, what is this? This is the glitchiest and worst performing Pokemon game I've ever played. And what really set me off, in my Scarlet series, you'll see when I'm doing the gym puzzle before Brassius, where you're going around finding all the Sunflora, I had to battle one, and the battle itself ended up being very, very annoying in itself. You're against me, and the frame rate is struggling. No! Come on! Also, who is this spooky person just, oh my God, that person is dead inside. The Sunflora was ingraining, it was leech seeding, it was using Mega Drain, it was constantly healing. No, it doesn't obey me! No! I didn't know the obedience levels. I didn't even think about it. What are you doing? And none of my Pokemon were very strong at the time, which meant I couldn't just like obliterate it in one hit. Can I even beat this thing? I tried to counteract that by using Fire Spin, which meant at the end of every turn, I had to wait for Ingrain, Leech Seed, and Fire Spin stuff going on.
This is outrageous. This is outrageous. How long has this one battle been going on? Because this stupid Sunflora keeps healing, the game is laggy, and like every turn, it has to Ingrain, Leech Seed, and Fire Spin. And this stupid painter keeps walking through my battle.
And that battle took a very long time, but it took even longer than it should have because the game was running at like 60% of the speed it should have. Everything, the menus, the animations, everything, because of the lag and bad performance of the game. And so that made me very angry. And to the point where I needed a break. I took like a 40-minute walk on release day, which normally on Pokemon release days, I'm playing all the time. I was so mad, I didn't want to play the game. And as the anger started to fade, I moved into bargaining, where I'm like, if they had just like, saying I should have, or if only they had delayed the game. If only Pokemon didn't lock themselves to this outrageous schedule of games every year, like the game would have come out better. If they had an extra 6 months or something like that, the game would be a far superior game. But also, like, I was always like, if they could just patch the game, if they could just patch the game, maybe they could fix this. Why are they allowing the game to be like this? Just patch the game. That's all I went to. And then I fell into depression. Not clinical depression. I was just sad because I was so upset by all the performance problems that I didn't want to play the game. I never in my life on a Pokemon game release day have I not wanted to play the game. I've been like, I haven't played for so many hours, I need to take a break. But like, not like I took a break and I was like, I don't really want to go back to it. And that made me sad. And I never experienced that before on a launch day for a Pokemon game. And I was just like really down about that. Like, wow, my favorite franchise and they're screwing it up. And then I moved into acceptance. I got more used to it. I kind of learned what parts of the game to expect the lag in, mainly the cities and what I am calling lag tree thicket. And that didn't make it so it was like not annoying. You know, it's still annoying when the game slows down. It's still annoying to see characters moving at 5 frames a second, but it went from like a, this is like, what the hell, to like a, there it is. There's the problems, you know, I'm aware they're here now. It's not as surprising, and I got used to it. And that allowed me to better appreciate the stellar characters and stories in this game. The story of this game, I believe, is the best in a mainline Pokemon game ever. And the characters are all just, they've got so much personality, especially the gym leaders. I saw a post on r/gaming a day or two after the game's release saying that like Red version had memorable gym leaders, whereas Scarlet and Violet doesn't, which is just patently false. You know, it's like the Red gym leaders are maybe more memorable because they've been in like Red, Blue, and Yellow, Gold and Silver, Fire Red, Leaf Green, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Let's Go, and then their post-game appearances in Black to White. Like, they've been in a lot more games. They've been around longer. Obviously, you remember them better. These ones have been around for 2 days. But also just like, they added just so much personality to the gym leaders. I loved each and every one of them. Beyond the gym leaders, the characters themselves, I got really attached to them. I felt like they were all just so much more compelling than in previous games. And of course, when the game is functioning, the gameplay is awesome. It's really fun to run around the overworld Pokemon, just seeing them everywhere and running into them. So when the game's working, it's awesome. If the game's performance wasn't horrible, these would be the greatest Pokemon games ever made. And so that's the stage I'm in right now, is acceptance. I'm still hoping for a patch. I believe it's basically guaranteed at this point due to all the negative publicity they got for all the problems. And there are problems that cause game crashes, and those in the past, they've always prioritized. So hoping for one soon. This was not a meme. This is me talking more in depth about my thoughts. Because right now, the only public thoughts I've made are like little things I've said in my Scarlet series on MandJTV Extra and a couple tweets. So there you go. I told you guys Garchomp could fly. Yeah, I mean, we've known it could fly. It's just this, I think this is the first game that actually shows it, which is kind of fun. Anyone ever wanted this team? Team Sky! Well, except for the Mewtwo. I bite, best friends. Why are there 2 of them? That's kind of funny. In Pokemon, when you take a fossil and turn it into a Pokemon, why can't you do it with Cubone's helmet? Oh.
Maybe it has to be a certain amount of time old. Like it has to be like, it has to have turned into a fossil, meaning it's turned into rock. Just reminding everyone that it is Michael's birthday today. Ah, yes. This was 2 days ago on the 28th. It wasn't my birthday. It was my golden birthday. Turned 28 on the 28th. I'm getting really close to 30. In a universe, in a galaxy, in a solar system, blah, 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 blah. There's a person thinking what ASPITPIAY means. Don't I say it in every episode? At some point in the past, I asked you. So, Jax Films had a series called Yai. Yesterday, I asked you. And then PewDiePie made Lawai. Last week, I asked you. And then I took that and went to, at some point in the past, I asked you. ASPITPIAY. And I didn't actually ask you anything anymore. That's how it started. It's like, I want you to submit this specific thing to the subreddit. And then I was just like, submit memes to the subreddit. And then you did. And then everyone liked it. That's what we're doing. The memes, you guys need to work on them. Full stop. The memes about like, stop harassing people. I don't care. No, stop upvoting them. Upvote funny things. Be more funny. You know what's been the funniest thing in this episode? Me. I've been hilarious. You have not. Well, some of them. The memes about Clive, those were good. 10 billion memes about the bipedal starters and like harassing people who like Violet version or whatever. You have work to do. And if you're under the age of 13, stop posting. Okay, this is pretty funny. Fire should be super effective against dark because fire makes light. Dark is not darkness. I mean, it kind of is. It's like one of those types that's like represented by like multiple things, you know? Like flying is both like wind, air, and just like flying itself. But dark is like evil. Like in Japanese, it's the evil type. It's not the dark type. So I guess it could make sense, but like, I don't know. Weather forecasters, I fear no man, but that thing, it scares me. Yeah, Raihan Bold with the multiple different weathers in one battle strategy. Can we address the elephant in the room? Oh, LeChonk became a man that day. He's so ugly, I love him. I'm glad you do. Hashtag Great Tusk Gang. What gives people feelings of power, money, status, Scarlet fans getting the cooler Dawn fan design? People with ibophobia? What is that? Deliberately constructed to be a palindrome. Is it the fear of palindromes? That's so stupid. That's where I'm gonna wrap it up for this episode of Pokemon Meme Review. Thank you so much for watching, with an extra special thanks to my patrons over on Patreon who are helping support my channel independent of fluctuating YouTube ad rates. If you wanna help support me in the same way, the link's in the description below. And if you wanna check out some more of my fun Pokemon content, I recommend these videos here. But that is all I have for now. So until next time, advance. Gotta catch them all.